Hello, YouTube. I'm Zach. You're watching Zach DTV. Thanks for stopping in today. I like to do my show in 4 parts. Something interesting, something fun, something important, and then we'll finish up with something dumb, wrap up our day, maybe something to chuckle at. I want to get right into this, and we're going to start with Uber. Uber is rushing us into the future. That's the only way I can say it. They hired a 30-year NASA veteran named Mark Moore, and he has been brought in to build the designs that are going to shape our future. They want to make flying taxis a reality. The plan is called Uber Elevate. It was a white paper report put out a little while ago. Good ideas and how they want to accomplish this. Their main concerns with this program are safety and how to handle air traffic control. Too much congestion up there, you end up with accidents. Things are falling out of the sky and landing on people on the ground, no matter how safe the person in the thing is. You can't save the people on the ground. So a large portion of what they're going to spend their money on is redesigning air traffic control. They want to follow a pattern similar to what they already have in places like New York, all the big cities where they have the helicopter transport in and out of the city. They want to set up flight lanes like that, modernize air traffic control in the area, and put this stuff to work. They're planning on using a VTOL vehicle as vertical takeoff and landing. If you picture the Osprey, sort of like that. They don't have it designed yet, only a couple artist renderings, but that's why they brought in NASA. I came across this morning and I thought it was great. Now I knew they originally put this plan out back in October, but it looks like they really are moving forward with it. Next couple years might be pretty interesting here, guys. Let me know what you think. This next story I came across, I just thought was mind-blowing when I read the headline. The headline was huge pot bust at Legoland. Like, whoa, somebody came in carrying pot or something like that. No, it was a grow operation. Police found 50 plants, hydroponic system, and grow lights, all in a bungalow set up near the Legoland Park in Windsor, United Kingdom. It was a completely professional setup, and it was only found because they were doing an asbestos audit on all the park's buildings. The bungalow was off to the side a little bit. It wasn't being used. It was near the center where people could drop off their pets to be watched while they're in the park, like a pet sitting service. But like I said, it was a vacant building. At the same time, the park officials say nobody could have gotten to that through Legoland property. They had to come in through what they're calling the Crown Estate, which is actually land that the Queen owns that is up against the park. So somebody was sneaking in on the Queen's property and growing weed on Legoland. I thought it was pretty neat. Now, of course, the police are handling this. They're looking for the person who did it, and there have been no arrests made yet. I'm going to follow this one. I want to see who had this kind of balls to grow weed at an amusement park. That's pretty intense. And sneak across the Queen's property to do it. I'll keep you posted as I learn more. I sat down this morning looking to write this story about the silencing of Elizabeth Warren. I feel that whenever you censor someone's opinion, you're doing the wrong thing. Let's get that out of the way right up front. I'd like you to hold on with me here and just listen to what I have to say. Some of you aren't going to like it. Some of you will. I don't know. When I looked into it, they used Rule 19 to shut her down. Rule 19 states that senators, by any form of words, impute to another senator or senators any conduct or motive unworthy or unbecoming of a senator. Hear me out on this. With that statement, I came to realize they did have the right to shut her down. But it was to stop her from saying something very akin to hearsay. I agree that the King family was an inspiration and a wonderful figure in our nation's fight for equality. I agree with quoting he and his wife's speeches. They had great points of view. Quote their letters to prove your point. They are that good. But like I have said so often, there's a right and a wrong way. There's a right and a wrong place. Now, Warren would have been fine if she would have just stuck to the facts. Talk about Sessions' voting records, the statements that he made as a senator or as a district attorney or wherever. They have to be facts, though, not opinions. And unfortunately, that letter was opinion. She could have made a point, her whole point, by writing an eloquent speech about the way his political decisions have shaped the landscape of social equality in America. That would have been accepted. But instead, after being warned, she did continue down the same path. She knew that this was going to get her shut down. And she even had a response about not being able to use Mrs. King's writings that to me sounded kind of rehearsed. I ask you to think critically for a moment. Since this happened, she has had huge amounts of press. Her message has reached more people than it would have ever if she'd followed the rules. Her campaign contributions have gone through the roof since this has happened. And it's the #1 trending topic on Twitter. Actually, at the time of this, It became number 2. George Lopez actually is over trending her right now. And now America is focusing on this issue. Was this censorship? No. But the way she used it is one of the best pieces of political maneuvering I have ever seen. In the long run, this worked out for her, and I can't blame her for taking advantage of it to its fullest. This is politics, people. Some say she's going to run in 2020. This is a great way to start it out. But I do believe she knew this was going to happen. What are your thoughts on it, though? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And to wrap all this up, I'm going to finish with something dumb for the day. This one took the cake. I'm going to tell you about James Ellis. He's 37. He's from that state that you love to hate. He's from Florida. The cops were called to his house around 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday. They found him burning his stuff in the yard. All this stuff, by the way, his neighbors said he chopped up with a hatchet. Now I'm talking TVs, VCR, stereo system. Not like little bits of clothing or anything. He was out there beating the stuff with a machete and then set it on fire. Fire crew came, put out the fire, and he put himself in the house, threatening to burn it down with gasoline if the cops came in. So the cops did what I think would be the right thing, and they backed off. They left for a little while. They thought they'd give him a chance to calm down. They come back out later in the day. That didn't work. Around 11:30, the neighbors were calling in, saying he's throwing stuff out the windows, breaking windows in his house, all that kind of good stuff. It gets even worse. By the time cops had gotten there, the neighbors tell him that he had left in a car and was going who knows where. It wasn't long before the cops found him on the road. It sounds like he pulled over at a gas station. When he saw cops coming up the road, he jumped in his car and took off. Cops gave chase. He's driving like a nut, passing, all that kind of stuff. So they called off the chase. He still managed to wreck his car pretty close to where he lives. He then jumped out of the car, ran back to his house while being pursued by police on foot, and dove through his window to get in the house. He went right back into, I'm going to burn it down, I'm going to burn it down, I'm going to burn it down. Cops backed off a little bit more. They kept a perimeter, though, this time. And now he decided it was his shot. He dove out the back window and ran into the woods. Unfortunately for him, some of the cops were quicker. They caught him in the woods, tased him, and arrested him. This is just an epic journey of what sounds to me to be a methed out man going crazy in Florida. What can you say? This is pretty much par for course. And for that, James, you are my dumb of the day. That's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys liked what I did. If you enjoy my show, be sure to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like it, but let me know why. You can always follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Share this with your friends. Every little bit helps. And you guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.